Gotta show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. Run it up. First it was the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the bag like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. I city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you, boo, I style me. I roll G's and they grind me. Now I'm on my game, nothing is the same. Who am I to blame? Money made me change. Cardi in my ring when I'm switching lanes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Now I got a buck for all those rainy days. Ain't have a day off in like 80 days. I got hustles in like 80 ways. Kids if you won't take a lazy day. Wifey on me told me take a break. I keep going to the paper street. Then it's trips out to Montego Bay. If I take the job, bet I get it done. I said it before, I'm a 101. I just caught some ones, only wearing ones. Fornicate the funds, money made me calm. Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock a tech. You want that chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check, but can you make it stretch? Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm backed up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car cards to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault. I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. If it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up.
Gotta show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. In the air, pure gasoline. I see the news, see what you read. Change gotta come, put that on me and watch me educate. Yeah, we been, could've started, but it's never late. Do it for my kids, yeah, let's set it straight. Do it for your kids, gotta set it straight. It's time to regulate. We need change now. We need solar, we need EV in the game now. Make it changes so the earth we know can stay around. Make it changes cause we had no time for playing around. Let's quit the playing around. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Start from the flow, sweep up the scene. We going green, work as a team. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Start from the flow, sweep up the scene. We going green, we going green.
is a monster.
My goodness.
Yeah, well,
yo,
Troy
guys.
Polamalu was a
Polamalu was
monster.
a freaking nature.
Indeed.
Yo, what
Was a
is going
dog.
on,
Come
people?
man.
No, I'm saying
Yo,
though,
yo,
like,
guys, yo, next podcast. Guys, we are live.
We're doing the intro. We're doing the intro. We talk sports.
We're talking.
We need some milk.
Yo, for real. We were talking like best players in different positions
we're
on
all
football,
gonna have a
and it was getting crazy. But what is going on, guys? We are live. We have a show tonight, people. It is prime time, and the next podcast is live. How is the chat doing? What is going on? How are you doing on this fine Thursday? I gotta say, over here in Connecticut, being that it's February and we were like in the 60s today, it was amazing, absolutely amazing. But I hope you guys are having a great day. We got some cool stuff to talk about, man. Some things. We're probably gonna mention some eye herpes at some point in time. So I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be real good. But we gotta get into the intros, and I'm gonna start with the man. You can argue about it if you want on social media, but we all know this man should have been crowned MVP of the Super Bowl. Of course, it is Crispy Bomb. Crispy Bomb, what is up, bro?
I thought he was saying Jalen Hurts. Go ahead.
Hey, you know what, Jalen? I'll tell you right now, sign that man. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, because he outplayed Mahomes.
You said sign it, man.
Yeah, you know what? You know what?
That boy
You know what?
played.
I'll tell you right now. Y'all need to go watch the NFL Films version, because I'll tell you right now, Mahomes was in freaking pain, dude. You could not you
could tell, man.
Dude, he was in freaking pain, and the noises that man made after he got tackled, and he said, I rolled it, and he was in near tears. So I don't want to hear nothing about that. Also, we probably could have gotten a fumble extra that we didn't, but
Crispy,
I mean, come on.
Crispy, take your heart, put it back in your chest. Okay, we know the Chiefs won, man. It's all good, all right? Like I said, you should have been MVP, man. Let's be real. You are.
I mean, Bot, like, you're kind of ignoring the fact that, Kadarius Toney made the longest punt return in Super Bowl history.
You're welcome. I mean, like, we could have kept him, but that he wouldn't have played on the field at all. He wasn't a part of our. He wasn't a part of our future. So we sold him to you guys, and I think we got good shit in return as well. But anyway, guys, let's move on. Let's go to the man over on the West Coast. The man who is probably sipping his latte right now, but he is still in his scuba gear. Of course, it is the Angry Otter himself, Dark Optimus. What is up, bro?
What's up, man? I'm just sipping my latte, waiting for next year. Waiting for later on this year when the Rams come back and kick all your asses. Kick all your asses.
Again, let's go.
I don't know I can't believe the odds of this podcast actually having two Rams fans on on the panel. Like that's like lightning hitting the same spot like 4 times. I swear.
Lightning hitting the spot would be the Giants and
you
New
guys
York
just want to
Jets
see
doing
Matt
something.
Stafford just
obliterate everyone.
Like, yeah, no, he's not gonna. He's gonna obliterate himself. That's what's gonna happen.
Yo, I'm gonna shout out.
This last time he had some long play, he got the Super Bowl.
Check this out. I'm gonna shout out the our East Coast fans, whoever is in the chat right now on the East Coast, because K-Mega don't know this, all right? And it's unfortunate that he did that, but you never mentioned the New York Giants and the Jets, like, in the same sentence like that. You never bring them into one as if they are one entity, because it's not that way.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're in the same stadium, so I mean,
that's because the Jets
right?
the Jets don't have a home, so they rent ours. That's why. Okay.
So what are you trying to tell yourself?
But anyway, yo. So we got Dark. Dark is on the panel, guys. Next on the list. Coming from the Lone Star State, and he gets a little passionate too, when we weren't live. But I know he wants to move on. So, Predator, what is going on, bro?
I'm used to mediocrity, So I mean, winning 10, 12 games a year and getting ousted first
Great regular season team.
Just just normal average team just makes the playoffs every year. So I mean, we're good. I mean, like some teams can't make the playoffs ever. You know, like the Browns, the Jets.
Yeah, the Browns,
you know, like teams like that. So I mean, kind of happy, but kind of not. But it's whatever. You know, if you're a fan of one of those teams, especially the Houston. The other team here in Texas.
Texans?
Count as a team. Yeah, that team. I can't even think of a name. That's not me. That's
Actually, used to be.
That's how mediocre they are.
The Tennessee Texans, by the way.
The Oilers.
Used
to be the Oilers.
No, the Tennessee Titans used to be the Oilers.
The Kansas City Chiefs were the
used
Texans.
They used to be the Texans.
Yo, Crispy, I'm starting to side with you. Yo, Crispy, I'm starting to side with you here, thinking that all these guys here, they're like crying in their beers now because like the Chiefs are Super Bowl champions. It's weird.
Now we gotta wait a whole another goddamn season.
And dude, I ever think we were gonna have Mahomes? Fuck no, I didn't. And I mean that kid. And people are talking shit about his parade.
Hey, you did this to yourself, Predator. Yo, don't try to throw it. Yo, you were like done. You were fishing.
You brought him into this.
You were bringing. You were.
No. You brought him.
You were begging. You were begging.
Pred is politely.
Go ahead, Pred. Pred, your intro.
I should shut the fuck up.
I mean, he brought you into my intro by asking you and talking to you about how I feel about my team.
Oh, that is true.
Damn.
So,
yeah, it's on you. So
I am so glad. I am so glad I'm never against you in court. That's all I gotta say, man.
Because I would destroy you.
Oh wow. Okay, pompous asshole.
Here. Hopefully, we can keep the fucking podcast going today, and I'll stay awake this time because I'm wide the fuck awake, and I won't snore tonight.
I will not speak about football anymore. I apologize in advance.
You had your moment.
Okay.
Go Chiefs.
Nice, man. Let's see here. Next on the list, coming live from the 405. And I know he can't wait to talk about those eye herpes tonight. It is K-Mega. K-Mega, what is up, bro?
You're ugly. You're disgusting. I'm going to kill you. Give me $200.
Damn.
All right. Congratulations to the Chiefs. Their best player was the ref. At the
that's messy. Yo,
congratulations to the Chief. But
that's messy, Mega. That's messy, bro. Come on, man.
I already addressed
it was going down into a classic. I was thinking like maybe this game could be better than the previous Super Bowl with the Bengals and the Rams, and then the referee, which was helped out Juju. Yeah, he blew it.
I don't know. I live in Connecticut, so New England fans know what I'm talking about. Like it is.
Chat. I have no idea. There's a bug in the air. There's a bug in the air tonight.
Yeah, I know my Rams was the team that gave the Super Bowl, gave the Patriots the first Super Bowl after they cheated their ass off to get to the Super Bowl and then cheated in the Super Bowl. And
agree with that.
I listen. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. Congratulations on the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? I was loving it. Rihanna, even while she was pregnant, was that shit was hot. That was a really hot halftime show.
That stage reminded me of like a Smash Brothers fucking stage or something.
It was dope. The commercials were garbage this year, but
they weren't very good at all.
Yeah. There wasn't the God of War DLC, and there wasn't Starfield. So I don't, what I'm saying. So it was seeing people get upset was kind of funny. But yeah, no. Other than that, like congratulations to the Chiefs. Ready to hit some. Now I am very excited to say. In the morning I'll be heading to Dallas, Texas.
Oh, you told me this.
Yeah, to make some big moves. I'm finna hit up Micro Center. So
you finna? You need to talk because I.
Oh, that's it. Center. That's it.
Really? So. Yeah.
K-Mega's about to become part man, part robot. Like he's going robotic pieces. That's what's happening.
He's about to be cyborg.
I'm going all in. So I'm going all in. Let's just put it that way.
Call him Jax, yo. Call him Jax.
Right. But I'm finna go ahead and I'm finna drive to Dallas in the morning. So yeah, head out there, Micro Center.
So yeah. Hit me up tomorrow. I live 10, 15 minutes with Micro Center.
Yo, get the couch ready, man. He's gonna need a sleepover. That's what he said.
We about to make an OnlyFans video. He about to be.
Oh no. Anyway, guys, we gotta get into the topics right now.
I've lost this weight. I'm looking good. Looking good. So let's get it. Let's go.
And by the way,
Two caramel brothers are getting down. Anyway, let's go.
Yo, by the
Not
way,
together, pause, but
yeah,
you know,
dude, I was, Mega, I was trying to get away from that conversation before you kind of stepped in it, man. I tried, bro. But yo, for our brother Cali, man, I gotta let you know. I gotta let you know, bro. If you're not playing Hogwarts right now, you are missing out, man. I can tell you that this is your type of game. I can tell you. I can tell you it's your type of game, bro.
It dead.
Oh my goodness.
Is everything.
Every time you turn around, there's a different interesting side mission. It's insane. Like
it's good, man.
It's good.
It is.
It's so good, man. I haven't.
It's almost Witcher 3 status.
I haven't said anything.
Come on,
in terms
man, stop! You got to stop this, man. They said that about God of War, remember? And then I'm like, stop it.
God of War was not. This is definitely close to that. Definitely a lot closer than God of War.
Dude, the world is so alive. It is so alive. Every time you turn around, there's like something new and interesting going on. Like
Witcher
what the
3
hell?
is alive.
Yeah, that's what. Well, then guess what? They are similar.
But I'm holding a sword on top of a horse, kicking ass, fighting all different types of monsters. I'm holding in Hogwarts. It's a you holding a stick and you saying funny names and
but guess what? But guess what? While waving that stick, I ripped a giant mace out of a knight's hand and clubbed his ass with it. Okay?
And you can cut heads off too.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
Yeah. So, but anyway, let's get into the topics, man, because PSVR 2. It's getting ready to come out.
You forgot to you got Dark is
No, he did my intro.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Don't never doubt your fearless leader, bro. Anyway,
I think that's getting too big.
Never do that, man. But check this out. Cause I gotta say, I want to talk about this. The reviews came out, and from what I see, all the reviews are good. They're pretty much what I expected. And it looks like to me that the PSVR 2 is gonna hold a kind of a unique kind of like spot in the gaming community, whether it's the VR gaming community or console gaming community, because everything they talk about as the pluses to that headset, in my opinion, I'm not sure if it necessarily registers to the overall VR community, because they talk about the graphics and the power and stuff. And guys, correct me if I'm wrong. The most popular VR headset is the one that's independent from any other source. It's the Meta or whatever, right? Like the Meta's headset is like the most popular one out there.
The Quest.
The Quest, yeah, Quest.
Yeah.
And we all know that thing's not powerful. You know what I'm saying? It's not pushing graphics or anything like that, but it is the most popular one, for price point, application, or whatnot. So I think VR 2 holds a really interesting area that I'm waiting to see if it really does have a lot of people in it. It's kind of interesting to see this come out, but I don't know. Let's go to Dark first on this one. Dark, I know I should know your opinions on the whole VR thing as a whole, but unfortunately, I forget where you are in that whole thing. But the reviews are coming out. Everybody's saying it's looking good. It's got features, man. The thing's got a ton of features that even like some of the more expensive PC headsets, you would want on there. So what do you think about these reviews coming out? What did they say, and like where are you on the whole like VR 2 situation here?
Honestly, I didn't even read any reviews, man. I didn't read any reviews at all because simply I just don't care about VR. I get it. Everybody. There's a lot of people who love it out there, and that's understandable. I get that. It's just not something for me. I just feel like it's I know it's not a gimmick, and I'm not gonna say it is because it's not. I just feel like it's just not something that I would want to put in my home for a long period of time. I would have it. I would probably have it in my home, and then I would probably sell it, or something like that, because there's just not enough content for it or whatever. I just feel like it's just another piece of hardware that you have to pay for, and I'm just like, I don't want to. I'd rather spend that $500 on getting more games, right? I'd rather spend that money on going out and hanging out with my friends than spending that money on another piece of hardware. It's cool. I think it's really cool. I think it's a really cool thing, but it's just not my thing. It's not up my alley at all.
I got you, man. Yeah, and I'm with you on the cool thing. When you look at the features, the eye tracking, all that good stuff. You look at even the controllers. Now, they talked about the battery. They said the batteries on the controllers last about 4 to 5 hours. So that's brand new. I think that's okay when it comes to VRs, like a VR headset, because I don't think you're in there for that long.
Yeah, you're not. Well, technically, you're not even supposed to be in a VR game for very long, anyways. I don't feel like I know myself, and I feel like I'd probably get brain damage from playing VR.
Hold on, do you mean more? You mean more brain damage? Is what you're saying?
More brain damage,
okay.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It
is a concern. It's a concern, man.
It's a concern, right? Just because I know myself, I know I'd be like in it. I'd be like in a game or something, and then I would just keep playing until until it's done or whatever. And that's not that. You're not supposed to do that. So
you come out. One eye's looking to the left, the other eye's looking straight up, and you're like, wow.
Yeah. It would not be good. I just feel like it's for other people. It's just not.
You know what's interesting about it? Like, I feel like the people that would really be like attracted to the like PSVR and are the people who are really headset enthusiasts, right? And in my opinion, the headset enthusiast really has a powerful PC rig. All right, and like. I think they'll grab some people over, because if you look at the price for the PS5 and the headset put together, it's $1,000. It's like maybe a couple $100 more than one of the headset that they would have for their PC, and you get all these features that not even a lot of those headsets have, like all together. That's nasty, dude.
It's a cheap way of getting into VR, right? It truly is. So I mean, if you're going to go that route, you might as well go with the route of getting a PS5 and getting a VR headset.
I think a lot of it,
if that's what you want to do,
it's the key. I think that is the group of consumers that's going to be the key to the VR in terms of longevity. If they pull the trigger on getting the hardware, that means the console and the headset, because they are such like VR enthusiasts. I think those guys. I think that's the core. That would be the meat of their consumer base for that, man.
Right. I feel like the core demographic for that is people who are either already own a PC or already own a PlayStation and just want something new. I really don't think it's a casual market for that type of stuff.
No.
So,
dude, it's $1,000 buy-in. That's not casual at all, yo.
Yeah, that's not casual at all. So, but I think if you are interested, that's probably your best bet, is to go with the PSVR 2 and then get a PS5.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you're gonna save some substantial amount of money, because I think I can't really attest to it because I don't.
Where'd you go, Dark? Dark, are you there?
Disappeared.
He got sucked into a black hole. I don't know what happened.
Jim Ryan made him shut his mouth.
I think the Pony Defense Force heard that he wasn't like cheering on PSVR 2, and they sucked him into an alternate dimension, and they are whipping him with wet noodles as we speak. But On that note, let's
What happened?
I don't know, man. We couldn't hear you. We were talking about you and everything. Did you hear what we were saying?
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
He's gone again.
And he's gone again. Yo, Dark, you might have to jump out and back in again. You know the classic reboot on a situation. But while we get that all straightened out, let's get to Crispy on this one. Crispy, I from what I can tell, you're not a huge fan of VR, man. The reviews came out; they look good. What do you think about the reviews and like the situation in general? I think it's really. I'm kind of having fun.
My shit locked up. I don't know what happened.
It's all right, man. Well, did you have anything else you wanted to add, Dark? Because I already okay.
I don't know where I left. Where you guys did.
Yeah, we had to keep it rolling, man. So so now we got Crispy. We got Crispy on here. So Crispy, dude, what do you think about the reviews and the whole Aura PS VR 2?
Did somebody give you some theme music real quick? No.
Yeah. You got entrance music like the WWE, man.
Well, I mean, all right. I'm just gonna shut up about that. I look at this and I say, I mean, I feel like PlayStation, because the reviews are actually really good, and it's from people that my now stepson, in my opinion, is interested in, and the VR thing. It's awesome. I mean, I think they did a great job. I think the problem is what they're asking you to do if you're just like a VR type person. They're asking you at this point in time. I've heard there might be some pass through, something like that on the PC side at some point. Who knows? But as of now, the intrigue is there. The problem is that Sony misstepped and said, you have to have the console at this point in time. And at that price point, over $600, I don't know, dude. Like, it's one of those things where it's, quote unquote niche. But at the same time, it has its relevancy because I've seen it. It's not from people my age, but from people younger. There's relevancy there. And, the young one's like, I'll just keep the meta and I'll get a new graphics card for my PC. That's kind of where they're at now. They don't want, I feel like, he's 15 years old. It's like, he's at that point where he's like, you know what? I don't know what I want to do. And he just looks at his PC and says, I can do so much with this. And I think PlayStation is kind of like putting themselves behind a block of like, BS. Like, oh, you could use it with your PC if you buy this $40 cord. Like, I think that's what's going to happen at some point. And it's kind of, it's a weird thought process, but at the same time, the way Sony's been acting, they're very cocky right now. If you look at, this is exactly the shit they have done over the years. Yet they had no competition about it. They had no, Microsoft has been a $1 trillion company for a long time. But they haven't focused on this. And now you have this focus of saying, you know what? We're behind. You're still technically, if you go off console sales, yeah, Xbox ain't got a leg to stand on. If you really think about it. So you look at those things and you say, for once Xbox is like, nah, we're going to stand up. And they ain't quit yet, which I was surprised. I thought they were going to quit for anything else. And they haven't. You know what I mean? And as they haven't, there's a lot of things that I feel is in the back room, the stuff we don't see, the talking, and they put out, what, Microsoft might be like, Sony, you can be the leader right now. You can, trash talk us. We don't care. And that's what I hope is happening, because you know what? You can only do so much. And all the talk about the acquisition and this and that, it's all irrelevant at this point. Sony's putting out a product that costs more than their damn console, and it requires their console. That's what you should focus on. If you're a Sony fan, why is this so expensive, or why is it not? But if it's that expensive and people are talking so well about it, why not release it on, be a part of PC as well? I mean,
that I agree. That
makes sense.
That I agree with you on, the whole PC thing. But I think also the PC market would be interesting if PSVR broke into it in terms of price point and everything like that as well. Because what I was going to say, on paper, for what you see on paper with this headset, dude, the price point is not a lot. But like you said, it's right now you can't use it without the console, and I feel like the bigger space out there is PC, and unless they get those PC VR gamers pulled over to the PlayStation, I don't. It's going to be interesting to see how it grows.
This is where. Let me explain it to you this way. If Microsoft was approaching this right now, and we've called Phil out for saying high fidelity VR, we've done that a million times, people, by the way. So let's not bring that up. Okay, let's understand. At this point in time, if Microsoft was actually going to come out with a product that involved new technology in their realm, they would look at it, because, I mean, a lot of people are saying this is a high-end VR headset.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are also saying, but there's this price point, and it's almost like, I can get something else comparable, and I just use it with my PC, and that's what some people want. And I think, we always say VR's niche, and I mean really the sales of the PSVR 1 and all the other, like the Meta Quest, whatever you want to call it, they're all in this realm of millions, not tens of millions usually. And it's like Sony missed the opportunity to say, you know what, we have brought out something really special, and it is for PlayStation and PC. It's not going to work on an Xbox.
Oh, no.
And I don't think Xbox would allow that as well. I just like Sony wouldn't allow certain things from Xbox on their PlayStation, the same thing would happen with Xbox, especially at this point. So we look at that and you say you release it on PC with your PlayStation 5. You give people some kind of option. You are higher priced than the damn console. I mean, come on. That's I think where people are drawing the line. Like, dude, is this that good? No, it is VR, people. This is something new, something innovative. They're trying, okay, but I feel like they're not trying enough. I feel like they're just kind of sitting there like, we have something, but because we're all about the PS5 selling, that's all that matters. And, with that price point, it doesn't make sense. I'm sorry.
I hear you, bro. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Again, I say on paper, this thing is definitely impressive. It's got a bunch of features, all together, that, some headsets out there kind of have one of those features, and they tout that a lot. So, on paper, again, there would be questions, you gotta be both optimistic, and you gotta be a little bit on the more I don't know. You gotta see potential negative as well, and one of the things for me would be the material and stuff, because to this day, the DualShock 4, I have never had a controller literally disintegrate in my hand the way the DualShock 4 did, man, and it really left a real sour taste in my mouth. But let's get to Pred on this one. Yo, Pred, the reviews are out, man. PSVR 2, it seems like a lot of people really like it. It's got a lot of features. again, it's still to me, it's still an interesting avenue when it comes to gaming and what people are going to spend money on. Man, what are your thoughts here, bro?
Yeah, since you like sour taste in your mouth, that's what this is. I've always kind of like not been a fan of VR. Now I can see the positives of it when it gets to a point where it's worth it, but I still don't think it's worth it at this point. Just like the price point, and Crispy alluded to it as well. Like I think they should have made this a PS5/PC headset, and at least even if they didn't make games for PS5, PSVR 2, and PC, at least allowed the PC game space to utilize the tech of the PSVR 2 for other games. Just make it a universal headset, for whatever reason, just for PC and PS5. But they didn't do that. And I think, to me, the price point is a little high. Even though they do have some nice tech in there, it's just like you're asking us. It's tethered to the PlayStation 5.
I mean, it's all the top of the line features for the headset.
But here's my thing: it's tethered to the PlayStation 5. Yeah. You can't use it anywhere.
It's like the
else.
same thing Crispy said, basically, man.
And you can't play any other games for it but PS5 games because you can't play PC games with it. So you're stuck with PS5 games. And if you look back at PS4 and how it was supported in the beginning, you had, and we've talked about this. I've just been my main argument about this. It was supported in the beginning at length. You had other companies making games for it, making experiences for it. If you buy Resident Evil, you get this VR like mode. They were doing that for a while, and I'm just curious to see how long developers are going to do that going forward with PSVR 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, because at some point there was a point in there where Sony, other than maybe doing some third-party shit, which wasn't a lot either, there was a point in there where Sony didn't do shit for their PSVR, and they let third-party do it. They didn't really support. They think they had maybe 2 second-party deals with some people. I know they have some studios built to kind of help it out right now, but I'm really interested to see the support because we've seen this before. You have a peripheral that isn't really popular, and once people stop making it fun, or stop people, as soon as the money dries up and people start buying it, they realize like, okay, it's a money pit. What has Sony always done? They've canceled it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at the handheld. Look at this. I mean, like the iToy, and that came from both divisions, Xbox and PlayStation. Like, eventually those features they're not useful, and I know they're banking on PSVR at this point right now because that's like their main device this year. But are they going to support it? Because I don't think they supported it enough last generation, and that kind of scares me with this generation. And that's my biggest concern. Like, yeah, they're going to do it in the launch to see if it's popular, see if it hits. See if they're going to get enough support for it. But if they don't, what's going to happen? So have this conversation with me in about a year and a half, and we'll see where it's at.
Yeah, I hear you.
Right now, I don't see it. Like, I mean, they got a good launch. They got some good, like they got Horizon. I've seen like some. I saw someone today where they're like, there's on this fucking paddleboard. I mean. My biggest thing is like if they'd have tied this in with PC, they would have gotten a little bit more support for this that I think it was needed. But because they didn't, I think that's going to be their hindrance right there. And maybe they open it up later, but at launch they should have done that at launch. There's so many PC games out there that could have easily taken advantage of this tech and just the fans that are on the PC side that didn't want an Oculus or didn't want the Meta or whatever, and they could have actually easily gotten into this headset and plug and play.
Well, the 500 would have been the cheaper of the choices on PC, and you would get all the like top of the line features. Like that'd be insane.
If they worked with it, that'd been great. And even on the And if you think about this the business aspect of it, if they would have had their Steam PlayStation Store have all their PC games that were available on PlayStation 5 available on Steam at launch of the PlayStation VR 2, that would have been great. But you can't because it's tied to the PlayStation 5. And I mean, so I don't know. I think the launch was I think the launch is bad. I'm really concerned about what it's going to look like in 2 years with this headset and where people are going to stand on buying it after dropping $500. And hopefully they support it. If they support it, then so be it. It's good. But I just don't have the faith that they're going to.
I hear you, man, and it's definitely a concern. I mean, you definitely brought up from the original PSVR how quickly their support just kind of backed away from it, kind of like moving forward. Some people were actually surprised that they did make another one, or that they said they were making another one as well. I just the only thing that I think of when I look at this in terms of what's going to happen with it is if the majority of people buying headsets were people that were looking for getting like the best headset for the most powerful PC, like really looking in for graphics and those features and stuff. If that was the mainstream consumer base for VR gaming, I would be like, yo, this is a no-brainer. Even though it's tied to the console, this thing's going to absolutely fly. But like we brought up, like the tendency is the most popular headset is the one that it's not focused on like the power and the graphics, but still bringing that VR experience, and that's the most popular one. So that's why I think this is really interesting. So let's get to Mega on this one. Mega, dude, the reviews are in. I already kind of I already know kind of how you feel about these headsets and stuff, but I still think it's interesting that they're investing in this so much when it looks like the main demographic for that community doesn't really care about the things that they tout as like the biggest thing for the VR2, which the graphics and stuff. So what are your thoughts on the reviews coming out and the future of the headset, man?
Well, I don't care about the reviews. I don't even know what they said.
It says really good. I just they don't know about longevity.
I mean, well, the thing for me is that they're always going to say something that comes out from a Sony product is really good.
Shit.
So I mean that's just kind of how the media
I didn't even think it was going to go that way. Yo, my bad.
Yeah. I mean, am I lying?
No. I'm saying,
okay,
speak it, bro.
So,
speak
yeah.
it, man.
But the reality of this is, I think that the marketing is a little bit. I think the marketing for PlayStation 5 users is smart on Sony's end. For the main fact is because Sony has done this with they're starting to do this with their TVs. Now, since I've been really looking heavily into the PC space, like Sony's now dropping their first PC monitor. I should say monitor. So it's a gaming monitor. So it's more of things like this whole new thing of like their cheaper products. They've kind of wiped them out. And so now everything that they advertise is premium. And Sony TVs are fantastic. I've got a couple of them. I prefer Samsung over everything, but you can't deny their TV lineup, especially like I think it's the A5J or something like that, or the AJ5, something like that, whatever. But their prices are ridiculous. And so what they're doing is that they're presenting the PlayStation 5, the VR, their televisions, the monitors, everything else that Sony is starting to come out with is saying like it's premium, it's exclusive, it's part of this whole thing that has been pushed out, this narrative about premium. And now that this premium product is only exclusive on the PlayStation 5. The problem, and that's smart. That's great marketing, right? Mm-hmm. But the problem with that for a person that is a PC gamer, when you say this is premium only for PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 5 is no greater than a 2060 card. So So for a PC enthusiast out there that really likes VR, they're going to have a pretty damn beefy PC.
Yeah.
Or whatever, right? So they're looking at this and they're just kind of like, what? And they look at the price, and the price point is just right for people who are enthusiasts, right? Because that's what people that's the people who are going to buy who buys anything at the highest price when it first comes out.
But hold on, $500. That's only $200 more than the Quest, right? The Quest is $3.
Well, the Quest is from my understanding, the PSVR 2 is much more substantially better spec wise compared to the Quest, right? It's the Vine and whatever else that's like $1,000 headset, and then like I've seen a VR, and then I've seen like they're even starting a new VR that is the smallest ever, and it's just like it looks like glasses. Like it's crazy what they're doing with it. Like so, I'm happy that they're taking this peripheral and they're enhancing it because there is an audience for it. But it's like what everybody's been saying on the panel. The biggest audience is the PC gamer. It's not the console gamer. And so it's great talking points and a bragging point for PlayStation 5 gamers out there. But the reality is that PlayStation 5 gamers are not going to go out there and spend that type of money for their peripheral. They're just not in the way of what people would think like the numbers could be the same as like a Kinect. The first Kinect, so that's to me that's you'll never see those numbers because it's just too expensive, and regardless how premium it may be, it just doesn't gravitate to the console market as well. Now, if it has all this great tech, and if Sony could bite the bullet and say, look, it's $250. That thing is flying off the shelves. Hell, I might even consider my one to get one just for $250.
That should be crazy.
I might take a chance with iHerpy, but you know what I'm saying? But the reality is that look, I mean, they know where their toast is buttered, which is the fact of the PC market. They just want to give that premium look to the PlayStation fan and show, look, our gratitude. Look, we're offering you this premium product. No one else will be. It's exclusive. All these key words that makes that customer feel important, right? So that's where they're aiming with that. So that's going to make an enthusiast or a person that, because it's coming around tax time, that they're like, man, you know what? I might try this out. I see a lot of TikTok videos and stuff of people having fun with it or punching something or whatever. How about we try to get one? I mean, it's not that much if you go in here, if you're getting back like a couple of grand, in taxes. So in the scheme of things, it isn't that much. But in the reality of when people are, they ain't getting the tax, ain't getting the taxes, or don't file their taxes, or whatever the case may be. That shit is too expensive, dude. That's why it's just too expensive.
It's a great deal for a consumer base that they completely cut out.
Right. And that's but the thing of it is that if there's not anything in the market that's in competition wise that is similar in price and spec, PlayStation knows that they'll still sell quite a few units once they relinquish it to the PC market. So again, and maybe that's one of those things where they want to make sure, and they probably might do this thing to where it might come out in the next 6 months or so, because I do not see them waiting a year to start putting those VR games on PC a year later. So I think that those games depreciate pretty quick. Matter of fact, I think even quicker than their more premium, more known, popular games. So I think that they'll probably do it a little bit quicker than what people expect. I think that they'll do that this year, put it on PC sometime this year, maybe during the holidays, whatever the case may be, and that'll still be a win for them. But they just want to. I think it's the marketing ploy of just wanting to have PlayStation 5 gamers feel important with their marketing by saying this thing right here is only tied to this platform. Go ahead and buy it now because it's hot, so because then also look at it like this would also entice people who are enthusiasts to go in and want to, even though they might not care about PC gaming that much, But if you can sit there and you can put that VR on the 40 series or the 30 series, or the higher 30 series, I should say, a 3080 or 3070 or the 40 series, it would kill whatever PlayStation 5 would be doing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and that would get people to be like, man, maybe I need to build me a PC, or maybe I need to go and buy and invest in, get a custom built, or whatever the case may be.
But again,
so
yeah,
that's another thing too. I think it's part of their marketing strategy.
Again, like those people, that's not the majority of the VR gamers, though. That's like, it's crazy. When you look at it, like, I guess, like, I don't know, one of my son's friends, like, he always has his Quest with him. It's a little weird. He has his Quest, and he has, he brings, like, a bathroom mat with him.
Yeah, my son brings his Quest with him everywhere he goes.
Does he bring a mat with him, too? Because this is it's kind of slick.
There's no mat.
You know what? You know why he does that, right? Because when he steps forward and stuff like that, it changes what he feels when he's stepping, and he knows that he's going off.
So he knows he can't go over.
Yeah,
okay, no.
I thought that was pretty brilliant, but damn, you got to bring that with you though. Like,
yeah, it's a little weird.
Well, I mean, that's why I'm not into it. No. My son was been trying to get me on that. Yeah,
it was slick though.
Because it's slick. It was slick. And one of the things I did try it. I did try the Quest, and because he's like, you got to stop. You got to get more modern. I said, man, I was playing this before he was even born with the Nintendo VR, and I said I hated that, and I said I don't like VR. I'm just not the biggest fan of it. It's just not for me. But I tried it anyway because he just kept forcing it, and so I did it, and then almost walked into my TV. And I'm like, this is why I'm not doing it because I don't
like the feel of the headset. Like it get like no matter what, it gets warm in there. You know what I'm saying? So like you got a part of your body that's all hot.
Well, you got a lot of helium in your brain, so I think that's what's the problem. I wasn't getting
That's where I get my ups from, man. That's why I can dunk the ball, bro.
Oh my gosh! But no, that's the thing for me is that like it just
5'2".
Yeah. He's like 5'2". Even on his 2K player. Anyway, but no, I think that it's
that's 5'10", bitch. 5'10". All right.
I feel that everything in with the product is worth the money, but it just doesn't make sense when you just. I get it. I do get it because of the marketing purposes of trying to have people to get those people that really want to risk it all and get it, but the reward ratio, I just don't think is going to be a great outcome compared to what they would have been. Because think about this: if they could put this on PC and PlayStation at the same time, or even have a little delay of putting it on PC within that same month, that thing would probably do very, very well numbers wise, and then that's going to garner attention as well. Like, so if they come out and they say it flew off shit, it sold out. Well, everybody knows that they only made a limited supply. You know what I'm saying? So that's not going to be the same as though if Sony really puts out a big, huge number. You know what I mean? So, and then to get people to say, oh, well, you know what? Maybe I might. I wasn't interested in it, but now I might be interested now. So it is kind of strange to me, but hey, it is there. I wish.
What do y'all think is a win, like percentage wise, the amount of consoles they have out there versus the amount of VR headsets they sell? Like 15%, 20%.
I'd say I would give it. I would even be lenient and say 7 to 10%. If they could do 7 to 10%, that's a win. And I'm being lenient.
I mean, I'd say 10 might be generous, bro. To be really honest with you, yo.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean,
but yeah, I hear you on that, and you talk percentages. Like people realize numbers get bigger as the number you're presenting gets bigger. So like, that's not saying it's a small thing. But shout out to RG Viper, who has been a member of this channel for over a year, 15 months. He has been here supporting this channel. Shout out to you, bro. He says, Phil Spencer wants an untethered VR experience. Microsoft could convert HoloLens into a VR for Xbox and PC. Now, maybe use some of the technology. I wouldn't say convert the whole thing. Like that HoloLens, man, that was such a cool device. And I think not a lot of people really wrapped their head around what it was. It literally was a computer you wear on your head. Like, people are like, well, you can use that as a peripheral and stuff like that. Yeah, that's like plugging your computer into your console for something. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might have, like, that was a crazy thing, crazy machine.
Xbox gamers wouldn't buy that. I mean, that thing even now would be what, $2,000?
Yeah,
It was too expensive.
I mean, do Xbox gamers even buy anything anymore?
Well, I mean, they damn sure wouldn't buy that.
We buy our subscription to Game Pass every month. That's what we do.
Yeah. So,
we bought studios.
we buy studios, bitches. That's
Yeah,
what we do, so.
Yo, and real quick, I have a super chat. Shout out to Sir X-Man. Hitting up that super chat, letting everybody know it does indeed work. He says, PC has better VR at about the same price point with the HTC. Now, Sir X-Man, I gotta ask, does the HTC have all, like, I don't know, when did they put, like, eye tracking in the HTC? When did they put, like all the advanced features, are they all in the HTC as well for that similar price point? I think that would be the question right there.
But hold on. Having features and using them are two different things. Because you can blow in your fucking controller, but I ain't seen a game out on PlayStation 5 that you actually have to use that for since it came out.
I did. That's my no answer
having
for that.
features doesn't mean, like, just because they're there doesn't mean people are going to use them. So, like, you know, eye tracking, man, that can be used for everybody else. You know, even with the Kinect and with the iToy, there's certain features you could have done with that tech that no one used.
Well, I mean, the eye tracking technology's been out there, and, you know, they've been used like already in other places. I think it's kind of like it's going to be the norm moving forward and such when it comes to VR.
Until we start seeing games using it, then it becomes the norm. But until then, when they start making complaints about how expensive it costs to do it, and that's why you don't do that. So, I mean, like, having the features available with actually people using them is completely different. Yes, there, but if they're not actually implementing those things in the games they're creating, then this is something that's there, like blowing your controller.
All right. Well, I'm tired of VR. I was tired of VR about like 15 minutes ago. Yeah, but you know, we got to talk about it for the people. Hopefully, you guys were entertained. But let's move on to to fuel to the fire. We'll call it. Like, people are trying to use this bit of information here and kind of go nuts on social media, and it's all about Game Pass. We all know the acquisition that's going on and the circus that's around it. You know, whether it's the media just kind of covering things that they didn't normally cover in the past when it came to stuff like this or whatnot, but you know, it's all over the place. And now with recently released kind of like paperwork from the CMA, people are out here saying that Microsoft has admitted that Game Pass cannibalizes actual like digital and physical sales of games that are in the service. And people are out there kind of running with this whole thing, and I think this is absolutely funny, because when you look at the quote, you got to remember, these people, they pick words very carefully. When you look at the quote, you can see a couple things that would make you think about what was said more than just run out there on social media and start going crazy. So the quote came from Games Industry Biz. They reported Microsoft, quote unquote, made the admission as part of its discussions with the UK Competition and Markets Authority over the Activision Blizzard acquisition. They basically, where's it say? I'm looking where. I just had it.
Get it together.
I'm looking. Hold on. However, as that contradicts what Xbox Phil Spencer claimed back in added Game Pass if you were. Hold on 1 second.
Did they actually say it?
Yeah, I did. Microsoft submitted its internal analysis shows a redacted percentage decline in base game sales. Ready? 12 months following their addition on Game Pass. So basically, a year after a game goes into Game Pass, they're saying that there was a redacted percentage. They don't even say what percentage, but a redacted percentage decline in base game sales, after that year. And this is crazy for people to go running out and kind of like claiming cannibalization here. Now, I just want to make a couple points. I'm gonna give it to you guys. First off, when I hear 12 months, when I hear 1 year, whether it's 1 year after a game comes out, 1 year after a game goes into service, 1 year after a game is, I don't know, ported to a different platform, 1 year after something new happens with that game, there's always a decline in sales. They never sell as much as like when they first came out, or when people first get a chance to get their hands on it, whether it's in a subscription service or something like that. So all they're doing right there is explaining normalcy, in my opinion. And I do like what it's Alex said. He said that with this quote, they're trying to show that they are not as quote unquote powerful as PlayStation are telling them in terms of what they're like. It's just a natural progress, like everything else. Like it declines, like everything declines, man. But I don't know. Let's see. Let's go. I don't know. Let's go K-Mega on this one. K-Mega, dude. What did you think when you heard this? And I'm pretty sure you saw, people trying to use this as a negative. Man, what are your thoughts there as well, bro?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was having some discussions. I didn't even read the article because I knew that it was clickbait. I just knew it, like, because of the fact of then again how I see how the narratives was coming out, like, well, Xbox is lying to their consumers because Phil Spencer did come out and say that Xbox is Game Pass is profitable. And then when you read the headlines to that, it makes it like, oh, well, see, and then when you read deeper into it, then of course, like, because I didn't read into it, but I just was hearing what people were saying, that what it was in the paragraph was, and that's what every game depreciates. Case in point. All right, so Returnal, right? Returnal, it was how much on PlayStation 5 day one? $60?
$70.
$70. After a month, it was less than that.
About 30, somewhere.
Yeah. After a month, it was about 30. On PC, it's $60. You know how much it is now? And it just came out yesterday because it's because it's not selling as hot as people thought it was going to be. It's $40. I just bought it. So I was like, oh, okay, let's go. All right. So and then like, of course, with just, okay, like Forspoken, right? Forspoken is $70. All right. So I'm looking on PC. I'm seeing it's less than 60 now. So now, of course, the deluxe version is still ridiculous, but I mean, it's less than $60. Okay, but we can negotiate that. That's the thing with games. Every game, and it's not just PlayStation games, it's not just Xbox games. Every game depreciates. Even with Nintendo, is they hold on to that money and squeeze every bit of that juice that they can. They still have to have sales to where they still have to move units. So the biggest thing about PlayStation games, to me, though, that's kind of funny. I know this is talking about Xbox, but is that, like, when people brag about these sales, the biggest times when they have when these games really push is either through they're already in the box being sold with the PlayStation, or there's sales. There's deep sales, and great games are discounted all the way. As I've seen, it's like $5 at some point, right? Like, that's nuts. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, God of War, I think after the first year, it was like $9.99. Bro, dude, that was one thing.
That was one thing I found crazy when I had a PS4, because before the PS4, the PlayStation I owned was a PS1. Like, I didn't even have a 2 because I would just play it at my friend's house. So, like, I didn't need one, man. Dude, I just had a brain fart. I forgot where I was going with it. Yeah. What were you saying, man?
Okay, so anyway, yeah, because I kind of was, I was on my
Decline
crispy.
sales.
Decline. I was on my crispy. You know, I was kind of venturing back, but I was coming back to the topic
The
point.
feeling
But
was really good too. I swear.
yeah. It seemed like it was about to get started, but then you just completely. It's all right. Just signs of old age. We all do it. No, we don't. Anyway, no, I do it all the time. But the thing,
Dude, you're all over the place right now.
but the thing to me is that it's kind of funny because when you break it down, you have to in order for you to try to break it down to that degree to make your headline for your article to work, that is some damn planning like no other. Like, I mean, just tell us without telling us that you just want this deal to fail or you just need the clicks, because that is the biggest clickbait headline that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
right?
they don't mention anything about the individual deals per developers or anything like that. Yeah.
No, it's only about just the fact that this after a year, game sales diminish, and of course they will. But they don't talk about how developers have been. Because listen, there are games now that are coming to Game Pass that I didn't even think would dare come to Game Pass, like the Gundam game. Usually those type of Japanese games, they will keep it at that high price forever. They do not care. They over here succumbed to the throat needle and said, yeah, Game Pass might be it. We want people to get a chance to play Gundam and go ahead and buy it. You know, it's all about, Game Pass is the ultimate hype man. So again, if you got the ultimate hype man or woman, that's going to help you boost your. I mean, it's just like with content creation. When you got a lot of moderators, when you got people that's always help soliciting your content, what does that do? That helps you build your channel. It's no different with Game Pass. It's the biggest hype. It's the biggest hype man in the game. And so of course it's going to sit there and help boost things, and it's going to make a profit. But yeah, after a year, because just the way that the nature of gaming is right now, the public is like, what's the next best thing you could do for me? Okay, Hogwarts Legacy. That's the new hotness. But what's going to be the next game after that? What's the next game after that? What's the next game after that? It takes a real special game like Elden Ring, and maybe Hogwarts Legacy might be that game for this year, to where it'll still hold on strong for the whole entire year.
Yeah.
But let's just look at a game like, for instance, like Jedi Fallen Order, right? The new one that's going to come out.
Mm-hmm. Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, Jedi Survivor, right? I don't think there's nobody on this panel or that's listening that's going to say that game is going to be bad, right? I think everybody anticipates this game is going to be good. Mm-hmm. But after they beat that game, it's going to come to, what's the next hotness? Is it Starfield? Is it Redfall? Is it this? Is it that? Whatever. So that's just the way that the nature of the beast is. It bothers me how the media takes and spin things now to this degree in order to have the console war completely just for people to use this as console war politics. It is sickening. Like, I get the point of trying to say what was said, right, to the CMA or whatever, but be completely detailed. Don't come out with that shiesty shit to try to go ahead and get the clicks, because that's exactly what this is for. And I just find that stuff inexcusable, honestly.
I hear you, bro. It's funny, man. Like, to see the way companies are acting and reacting right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, when this first started popping off, man, I didn't think it was gonna be such a soap opera, bro.
No, I knew. I've been telling people, I said, strap in. This is gonna get even messier.
Get your popcorn, strap in, man.
Yeah. No, I knew this was gonna be messy. I mean, just off the bat, when Sony threw their hat in and said, "Look, we risking it all. We putting it all out there. We don't want this deal to happen." You know, it doesn't matter. Hell with relations, where we all standing in kumbaya. We here for war. Yeah, and I think and regardless if the deal goes through or the deal doesn't, I still am 90% sure that this deal will go through with concessions. But the thing of it with this is that Xbox and PlayStation and Sony will not be the same. It will not. Period. And maybe Phil might try to if the deal goes
be careful
through
what you ask for, man.
Be careful what you ask for. But if this deal don't go through, I don't know. I mean, Phil is still going to keep being Phil, right? Like he's going to still, play the game and be the nice guy on that end of it. But I don't see. There is no way in hell that Microsoft is going to just sit on their hands and be like, nah, bruh, we lost this one. Let's move on.
One thing you know, like that. One thing you know about Microsoft, it's one of the reasons why it was so easy for them to drop things that they had invested in when it came to like Zune and stuff like that. Yeah. They already have another plan. You know what I'm saying? They have another plan for those situations as well as this one right now. But from what I'm hearing, everybody's pretty much, for the people that know the court language, for the people that know the processes and stuff like that, like I'm still hearing, it is pretty much going to go through. Like when it comes to the situation, it's nothing but like the extremists out there that are yelling that the sky is falling and shit. But and then with this whole thing, with the whole 12 months, I thought 12 months right there kind of explained itself throughout that entire quote. But you're right, Kim. Yeah. They didn't explain it themselves either. They didn't go into any other detail, other aspects. They just went straight for this and it's like, can you believe that? Look at that right there.
Yeah. Run with it, troops. Take it to them. Take it to the bots and to anybody that just cares, whatever, this whole thing. I do want to read what Viper said and then I'll be done. Viper said the gaming community is fickle and will not continue to spend $70-$60 for 1 year or 2 year old games. Nintendo is a special case because they don't give sales. Well, they do let people know their sales numbers, but I just look at this as a situation where he's right. Like, I mean, gamers, we all are trying to find a deal. Like, I mean, most gamers are trying to find a deal unless it is that game that is that game. Like a Tekken for me, it doesn't matter if it comes out and it's $200, I'm copping. You know what I'm saying? And it can be the base title. I'm copping. It's Tekken. It's my favorite, right? But if let's say Wanted Dead, the game that I picked up over the Harry Potter little abracadabra game.
Abracadabra game.
Yeah. Zip zabby zabby.
That wizard game. It's known as that wizard game.
Is it that wizard game?
Yeah.
All right, so
because of all the drama.
Yeah, but the thing to me is that if that game was $70, I would not have picked up Wanted Dead. I would not have. Doesn't much matter. It doesn't matter how much I was wanting to play this game, get that, get some of that old school nostalgia, late 90s, early 2000s, hack and slash, fun, don't give a damn type of gameplay. That game, $70. Nah, son, I'm not copping. I want, I'm saying, I'm going to get something else, or I'll just wait. So Viper is 100% correct.
All right, I got you, bro. Let's get the Angry Otter in on this one, man. So Game Pass cannibalizes game sales, right? Right, Optimus, man. What's going on here?
What's funny is that Xbox gamers, to make themselves feel better, they always have to put PlayStation in the middle of it, right? You know what I'm saying? No, but honestly,
exotic butters.
I think every game gets cannibalized at some point, right? I mean, it's just the nature of the business. The new hotness comes out and everybody wants it. That's just the way it is. I mean, I think Elden Ring was kind of a one-shot kind of thing because it was that game that just everybody was talking about at the time. Everybody wanted to play it at the time. And then it was also, I think it was just last year. I mean, we had some good games, but I don't think we had it on the same level as Elden Ring. Like there was no games that were on that same level that really made people be like, okay, I want to, There was a lot of games that came out that were just kind of like, it was okay,
And people were buying consistently for like a year or whatnot. Like I don't know. It's a weird. It's a weird thing to say, kind of, man. It's
right. It wasn't like Grand Theft. It wasn't like Red Dead or something like that. It wasn't like what's that other game that does? I mean, Call of Duty. It wasn't like that. There wasn't really that many games that were like that last year, except Elden Ring was.
Hey, Dark, you got to do me a big favor. You got to be uber entertaining for like 2 minutes. I got to run downstairs. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know how to be uber entertaining, but okay. I just feel like the way that the industry is going, it's just it's a matter of time where a lot of these games, especially at the $70 price tag, they're just not gonna, there's gonna be a lot of people who are just gonna be like, nah, man, I'm not buying this game at all. Just for the simple fact that, like I know what you're saying, K-Mega, with Wanted Dead, like if that game came out at $70, there's no way half of those people would have picked it up, right? Like half. It would. It probably. I mean, I don't know if it's bombing right now, but it doesn't seem like it's doing too bad. It's not doing too bad.
And that's being at 60.
I think even a game like that at $60 is too much.
I personally agree. As I love it, I personally enjoy the hell out of the game. But I would recommend to other people out there, I would wait for a sale. That's just me. Yeah. So
I think they put too much emphasis on games, like how they sell it, like the first week or so, versus maybe like the first 3 months.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think it just depends on the game and what people are interested at the time and things like that. But I think at this moment, I think I get it sucks that we're at that point in gaming where we have to pay $70 for games. It does suck. Is it going to make me stop playing games? No. But also, to get back on subject with the Xbox thing, I feel like Xbox. I feel like Xbox is just they're just putting all their cards on the table, man. They're letting people know, hey, we know that games aren't gonna sell after a certain point while being on Game Pass. They just know that. They probably knew that from the beginning when they started Game Pass. It's just the way that gaming is. You're not gonna sell. And a lot of people are just not gonna. A lot of people aren't gonna buy a game if it's on Game Pass. They'll just play it and then move on.
That's it's kind of what I'm gonna do with all first party, like Xbox. Cause
that's kind of why Game Pass is there, right?
Yeah.
Just play it and move on. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think Game Pass is a bad thing. It's not something that I personally.
Yeah, you do, Dark. You think it's bad? Come on, you just admit it. You think it's a bad thing.
I played Hi-Fi Rush on Game Pass, and I would have never bought that game at all. I would have never bought that game. It was a good game, and I have to say it was a fantastic game. It was one of those games that I think everyone should play. Just to see if they either like it or just to see how well done it was actually put together and stuff. I don't understand why it's being blown out of proportion with the whole what they said at Xbox. I saw some people saying, oh well, see Xbox gamers don't buy games, just so you know. And I'm just like, what Xbox gamers are you guys talking to? Because most of the Xbox gamers I talk to and I follow, they're buying games out here.
Dude, this past year, because of Game Pass and the games that came out, I was able to play Forza Horizon. I was able to play Halo when it came out. So when it came time to pick up NBA 2K. I got the championship edition. I bought Hogwarts for me and I bought an edition for my son as well. And a lot of this like that probably been money spent on those other games that I was getting a chance to play. Yeah, that I get a chance to play through Game Pass. So like it's getting me to buy other games. Like I probably wouldn't have bought Hogwarts otherwise. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
For me personally, I'm kind of being a little bit more stingier with games that I buy as of late, because I'm just thinking about it like, dude, I bought so many games last year and I never even freaking finished.
Dude, when I first met you, you were
buying everything.
You were a gameaholic. You were buying every game, dude. When I first met you, oh my goodness, bro.
Game, dude. Every single game. Didn't have a lick of time to play them all, but I played a majority of them, and they're just sitting there in my backlog, just sitting there
waiting.
Eventually, it just got out of hand, and I was just like, you know what? This year, I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna play certain games. I'm not gonna play everything that comes out. If there is something that comes out that I'm interested in, and it's like $60 or $70, and I'm like, I don't really want to spend that much right now on it, I'll just wait until it goes on sale. So I'm kind of being a little bit more what do you call it? Frugal? Stingy, stingy about it.
Okay.
So I think that's not a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing, but some people would probably be like, "Oh no, you got to go out and buy every game and support the developers," and I'm just like, "Okay, whatever."
Yeah, I know. I don't.
Steve Ballmer said it best.
I don't listen to that crowd.
Yeah, those that crowd's kind of wacky.
Right.
I don't know.
All right, is Pred awake? Pred, are you awake, sir?
I am awake.
Okay, Pred, what do you got to say about this latest thing coming from the acquisition here, and people kind of trying to use it to justify what they've been saying about Game Pass and trying to downplay it and stuff like that? Yo, dude, Game Pass cannibalizes sales of the actual game, bro. Is that what's going on here?
I mean, I think Ken Mega said earlier, yeah, games depreciate over time. The launch game, $70. 2 weeks later, it's $50, $40, $30. Mm-hmm. Next thing you know, it's in a fucking bundle. So, I mean,
it's in a bundle.
I mean, it's the truth. But like,
some of them basically start in a bundle.
Yeah,
basically.
So, I think with Game Pass, I think the option of having it in a subscription service that you've already paid for versus having it on the shelf or buying it outright, it kind of works against it sometimes. So, if I'm subscribed to Game Pass, and we do it, we still buy games. I know people say Xbox people don't buy games, whatever. We still buy games. I bought Forza. I bought the big boy edition of Forza. And I had Game Pass, but I still bought that game. And there's some games that I still do that with too. Like some of it, like Halo. I think I bought Halo outright. Yeah. But it was in Game Pass. I didn't have to buy it. And it wasn't even about me supporting developers. Maybe it was about me wanting to play it earlier. Maybe it was about me wanting a skin or something. I don't fucking know. But like we still buy those games, even though we still have subscription services. They give it to us with the subscription service at a discounted price. So like, yeah, out there, y'all people who throwing that meme around, Xbox players don't buy games. Yes, we do, and we don't even have to sometimes. We still buy them. So shut the fuck up. But for the fact of the matter is, like, some of those people who are subscribed to Game Pass are not gonna buy the game because of the fact they're getting a Game Pass. Duh. And it does, in a sense, if you think about it.
That's me. That's me, by the way.
Yeah, you're one of the people. Like, why would you buy a game?
Problem, bud.
Well, it just doesn't make any sense. Why would you buy a game?
You're not better than me.
That you just want to try out and play, that comes with your subscription service, and not spend $60, $70, $40 on it. It doesn't make it. It's just stupid consumerism. Like, I'm already going to be able to play it. I'm not going to buy it if I don't like it. I'm not going to buy it if I'm already getting it for free. Or, I'm sorry, not free. I'm getting it for my $10, $15 a month subscription. Duh.
I'm so glad people are fixing the whole free thing, and I appreciate that.
And it isn't free. It comes with my subscription service. However, I don't own the game, and that's fine. I don't need to own it. I need to play it. When I'm done playing it, if you think of the way Predator plays games, I don't go back and play it after I beat it. So if you're playing the game with your 1 year subscription service that you paid for, and you play it and you actually beat it, you don't need to buy it because you've already played it. You've already beaten it. There's nothing else coming out for it, especially for your PlayStation guys who don't get DLC, don't get fucking online play games, first party games that you play. Like, you don't get all that shit. So you spend your $70 on the game, and you're done with it, and you're not going to pick it up again. At least with Xbox, you get multiplayer, you get some DLC sometimes, and your subscription.
He's just trying to give Crispy a segue for that.
I know.
He really is.
I know. I know he's going to go there. So, like,
oh, you know I'm coming for you.
Even that $15 a month that gives you all the fucking games you play. Let's say you only play one fucking game for the whole year.
On September 10th of 2019, 2 weeks before, Crispy Bomb said, "I'm not buying Gears 5. I will just get it on the subscription." And I
dun dun dun
the fucking hate.
Yeah, I mean, like, why buy it? You're getting it with the subscription service. Now I know, Crispy, you've played,
and it's never leaving. And it's never leaving.
It's never leaving. And you can always restart and play the same fucking game and pick up exactly where the fuck you left off.
I can still get a match, people. Just like Halo Infinite, you can still get a match.
And here's the kicker: sometimes you can still get the DLC with it too. You don't have to pay for that either. Sometimes it just comes with the subscription service. So, sometimes, not all games, but sometimes. But
we'll go case by case basis.
You want to talk about cannibalizing a game? Okay, fine. But it's a natural occurrence. Games decrease in price the older they get. It doesn't make sense to spend. Why would I spend $70 on, I don't know, Returnal that came out last year? Should it be the same price now?
What?
When I have other games to play? No. It should be cheaper because it's older. There's other games to play. It's been beat. You got enough content out there. People have played it enough, and they've seen it on fucking YouTube enough where you can just watch the story online. It should be cheaper. So that's what happens.
There's some games I watch the story online, like the when they came back with the Resident Evil, because I was like, let me see where the story's going, stuff like that. So I've done that before.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that, because even in the world of remakes and remasters, the story doesn't change.
It doesn't, dude. It doesn't. I've been trying to. People.
It's the same fucking game. This looks better. So why spend $70 for? You're getting the same story out of it. It doesn't change. No matter what you do, the story doesn't change. You know. And if it does, like, very slightly.
That's all it is. That's what it is lately. Remaster.
So I mean, those games shouldn't even be $70 out the gate as a remaster, to be honest with you. But even if they are, you're still playing the same game.
It's one of the main reasons why I don't have Dead Space is because of $70. I'm like, I'm not spending $70 on a remaster. Like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, have you never played it before and it's your first time running through it?
I played it before.
But like if you played it and you like, it's one again. I don't replay games, but you played it once 8 years ago. It's the same game. It just looks a little better. It's the same game. It looks a little better. So I get a new actor for a remake. I don't know. I don't get it. But yeah, games depreciate, people. They depreciate over time. It's okay.
You know what?
It has nothing to do with Game Pass.
You know what doesn't depreciate? Super chats. They never depreciate. And shout out to Verge Brizzle, my homie, coming in with a super chat. Yo, he says, shout out to my most fave and most honest pony, Dark Optimus. He says, K-Mega here too. Xbot, you have a squad. He said, Mega still hasn't made me a mod, and I've been supporting him since day one. Look at
shit!
that.
I got you. I
Look
got you for
at
GRG.
that. Yo,
I got
Verge.
you for GRG tomorrow night. Promise. Oh, my bad, Verge. My bad. My bad.
Verge, look at that. Yo, Super Chat gets things done, bro. You look at that. Right off the bat, man. Shout out to you, man. Thank you so much for the support, brother.
But it's still to sit there and talk about me. You gave Bot the money, not me. But that's cool. I mean, I guess
that is true.
That's not cool. Yeah, I'm gonna give you what you want. I'm gonna give you what you want, but Bot profited off of it. You know what I'm saying? What kind of shit is this?
Damn.
I feel like you have to kind of look at people. I think you kind of have to look at a lot of this as like some like movies, right? There's some movies that are just not worth fucking seeing at all. It's the same thing with games. There's a lot of games that just aren't worth playing at all. So when it goes into Game Pass, it's fine, right? You know.
Speaking of movies, I finally saw Wakanda Forever a couple weeks ago, and man, that is
it's hot,
dude. That was the best movie that phase, hands down, dude. That shit was hot. That was fire.
I still enjoyed Doctor Strange pretty heavily, but it's definitely, and Spider-Man. So it's between those three.
It's hard to say. I think Wakanda Forever was I don't know, it was more grounded, which is hard to say because we're talking about fish people, and, like, you know what I'm saying. But like I don't know. There's certain amount of dirt there, man. It just made it feel real. You know? Yeah.
They did Namor right, bro. They did Namor right.
Yo, for real.
I mean,
I can't wait to see him in the future. I can't wait to see him in the future. Yo, like, cause he's like, I got a plan here. Yo, chill. Anyway, my bad. Let's get to Crispy. Crispy has been waiting in the bushes, kind of like a predator cat, man. He's been waiting to pounce here. He wants to get in on this. And yes, we are talking.
Pussy cat.
Oh no!
Don't add predator in here because that motherfucker will snipe my ass. Like I'm good with that.
But Crispy, man, according to the article, Game Pass cannibalizes game sales. They never talk about the boost when it goes into Game Pass, but let's digress on that. But dude, what are your thoughts here about them like calling out Game Pass here in terms of cannibalization, bro? I thought that was illegal.
Cannibalize a year? I'm confused. Like I literally look at this and I say, a game has come out a year before what we're talking about, yet we're still talking about it because I don't know. I mean, I think Horizon Forbidden West is about to come into subscription. It's been about a year, man, hasn't it? And that am I losing my mind? Is it?
No, you're not. It has.
Oh, shoot. Oh, all right.
How
about MLB The Show? Oh, isn't that coming to a service in like a month?
Day and date, baby. Day one drops.
Wait. Let's ignore the fact that that's made by a PlayStation studio.
But they don't make money. It cannibalizes, brother. It cannibalizes, man.
Oh, I mean, hey, you want to say that? By all means, people. By all means. And you got to realize, almost everyone, I'm not sure if everyone on this panel today gave me shit for not buying Gears 5. But there's a reason for it. Because I got other money to spend. You know what I'm saying? Like you know,
you got to buy Hogwarts, baby.
There. Well, I mean, it's not free. Okay, it's $15 a month. It's actually cheaper than my 4K Netflix subscription. Just saying. A lot of people probably have that. Because if you watch Stranger Things in 4K, I'm going to tell you something right now. You need to watch it. You have to.
I don't have Netflix until new Stranger Things comes. Then I have Netflix again.
Chef's kiss, my friend. Like, dude, but you watch it in 4K. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be like, my freaking eyeballs just don't know what to do with themselves right now. And that's what you're going to say to yourself. But by all means, I mean, you know, we're looking forward to Starfield for a reason. Will there be other DLC? No, probably not. Bethesda is going to make money off the PC side. That's what they're gonna do. So like, there's gonna be certain games, not the Hot Wheels for Horizon 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, not stuff like that. Like, but you have to realize, like, these games that you all call dead, they ain't dead, bro. They're not. You could say they're dead. That's great. But if I can get a game when I want to play it that quickly, I can still get a game in MK11. Everybody's been calling for MK12 for a while now, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can still get a game in that. And I'll be on only console because I don't want to play PC players that day. But at the same time, like, I get it even quicker if I play PC players. Like, you can be in the mood and all you got to do is change the setting. And there you go. You can do what you want. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Bethesda to get more into Xbox, but I'm also looking for Sony to say, you know what? Let's wake up. Let's not have this cross-play tax and all these things that we've done. Let's start realizing that, you have IPs that you could fold into your VR and stuff like that. Like, it's one of those things, like, you go and you look at what we've been through in the past, like, I'd say 3 years more than ever. A lot of DLC, but the good ones, the good developers, they bring out DLC that fixes the game in some way and makes you want to go back to it. And it's one of those things, like, yeah, you're going to pay a lesser price, and they probably put a little less work than actually making the game, but they're still making revenue because the code's already there. All that hard work has been put in, and they're tweaking it. And we've seen it with Ubisoft. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, you look at Ubisoft, they're like, oh, we're going to stick to what we have already, and that's it. And it's like, dude, you guys have come out, like, I'm sorry. You get through certain games, and you're like, man, this is really good, and it's intriguing. And then, you kind of hit that bug or something, and you're just like, I'll walk away. I did that with Cyberpunk. It's one of those things, like, we are already been tooled for that, and it doesn't really have anything to do with Xbox or PlayStation. But at the same time, Xbox continues to push to make their games better. I mean, I couldn't believe that nobody said there's a bug in Hi-Fi Rush. And I follow PlayStation gamers just as much as Xbox gamers. And I'm not saying you're a fanboy, I'm just saying that is your primary console. And you know what? Nobody, if they had both, which most of them did, they said this game is actually pretty good. You know what I mean? And it's not my cup of tea. It's not. But it's a game that's there. And, you look at what we have right now, like, Atomic Heart's going to come out, and people are going to buy it, okay? But people are going to just do what I do and just download it on Game Pass. But also, as it trickles down, you could have more from it. You could have DLC. They could have, just simple, like, cosmetics. Like, these are all things we see. Like, I see people already in Hogwarts, like, already going to the dev streams and stuff and trying to get that skin. Like, that's kind of what I've seen a lot of games do. You know what I mean? You have a dev stream, like, you get the community going, riled up, the people that love the game. Like, these are all smart plays, and Sony's been great at that at times. And, but at the same time, like, I feel like it's just like people that are smart are like, oh, this is actually on Xbox as well, by the way. You know what I mean? But, PlayStation's just going Hogwarts Legacy, PlayStation, and then they'll put exclusive, blah, 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 a part of it. But everybody, big letters, exclusive, and then it's like, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? This part.
Blah, blah, blah.
And I
don't think we've ever heard you say blah, blah, blah so much, sir. As tonight, I think you might have broken a record.
This is what they do, and you know what? I don't hate it, okay? But if they keep getting away with it, Microsoft, you can do it too. It's okay. Like, they've copied you with many things, Like, you already had 2 tiers, technically 3 tiers at one point for your subscription, and they just like bang, 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 bang. They kind of copied you, okay? You know what I mean? And if you copy them and say, you know what, VR actually means something, ain't nobody going to have a problem with it, at least on the Xbox side. But I also agree with a lot of people that say at the price point. And I think that's where you look at Phil and you say, the Series S has a great price point. And it's going to continue to be that great price point. If anything goes up, it'll be the Series X. I don't think the Series S is going to move from that price point. I think it's going to go cheaper, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And it's one of those things like you can hate what Microsoft does, but I've seen too many times that PlayStation has copied them. I mean, look at the DualSense Edge, okay? Look at that controller. Everybody says it feels well. It feels better than they've ever had a PlayStation 5 controller, and at the same time, they are immediately honest and they say the battery life ain't there. And you look at it and you say, but why? It's more expensive. I paid $120 for the Core 2, Elite Series Core 2, and I had the same 40-hour battery life. I haven't charged the thing since I got it.
Yeah, the battery life is beautiful, bro. It's beautiful.
It's incredible, and it's one of those things. Like, how are you going to charge your consumer more? I mean, at least because we don't talk about internal battery much on the Xbox side, but that internal battery and the Elite Series 2, bar none, is ridiculous. And how is it less expensive than what you have just released and technically copied? I mean, you could say, okay, they copied Scuff or something like that. No. They copied Xbox. Okay? And that's fine.
All for one feature. One feature I really feel like they hit a home run with, and that was the ability to swap out your thumbsticks. Because if you get drift, you can go and buy a new thumbstick and put it into it instead of buying like a whole new controller. That is a home run right there.
Do you know what's funny, though, Bot? I see a lot more videos and everything, and these are not Xbox. These are people just making, they own a company, and and they always get stick drift from the PlayStation 5 controller.
Yeah,
isn't that convenient that you could switch it? Because I'm going to tell you something right now. My Series, like the OG Series controller that I have with my Series X, that thing has 0 stick drift. Okay? I have more complaints about the Elite controller. The problem that people don't realize, and I've had one of my friends help me with this, the dead zones, the inner and outer dead zones, the amount of just freaking power you put into that controller makes a difference. And like the slightest, like you could put your finger one way and not even pay attention, and you think it's stick drift. A lot of people do that. Okay, they're just like, oh, I push it this way, and then it just continues to go that way because you put your settings that way. There's a lot of settings involved. And that's why I go and say the DualSense is cool, the Edge is cool, I should say, because they have an app for that and all that. They've done the same things Xbox does. But, I mean, to have a 4... All right, we'll give them a benefit of the doubt. We'll say 7-hour battery life. Not 4. We'll say 7. Compared to...
Oh, no, it's about a 4 hour. It's about a 4 hour. It's about a 4 hour battery. It's smaller. It's small. It's smaller than a DualSense.
7 to 40, regardless. Okay, because I think we've all said here, you might have your complaints about your bumpers, whatever else, but that Series 2 controller, that battery life, yeah, bro. Like, if you haven't had it, you don't understand. Like, literally, like I'd be like, oh shit, I actually have to charge this damn thing. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. Like, I feel like, for people to say that it's 10 years is something special, or a year is something special, have a controller for a year nowadays. Have a game for a year. Not uninstall it. Just have it there. Don't, I mean, if it's irrelevant at a point, people are going to stop buying it. Hello, world. We live in this world. Okay? So, if they're not going to buy it anymore and you look to people, because we all do at some point. I look to you guys for certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? And there's no interest there. Well, I'm probably not going to have any interest. So a year down the road, I mean, come on, man. You know what I mean? If you have a controller last a year, I don't know. That's actually pretty good nowadays. You know what I mean? Or you have
my controllers last over a year. What are you talking about?
like that's where like people are talking Hogwarts, like Elden Ring, because I had people like 6 months posting stuff on Elden Ring, and I feel like this might be the case with Hogwarts.
Hogwarts is so good. It's so good.
That's where you give PlayStation kudos, but at the same time, look at what they're doing. They're advertising.
Crispy, your woman would love Hogwarts, man. I just want to let you know that right now. She would absolutely adore that game.
Oh, I think I'm going to purchase it at some point. I'm just going to wait. I don't know. I feel like every time like even like Cyberpunk, like I played it on the One X, and I was just like, this isn't the way it should be. Like it was early. Like I wasn't like so far into it. And I was like, you know what?
That's another great game.
I got it already. Well, no, the game is yes.
Cyberpunk's great.
You know, role playing game wise, that game is like a chef's kiss, man. Like you actually love an RPG. That's what I'm talking about, because you can have different things happen, and I've tried them, and it's very interesting. So you look at a game and you say, I feel like I'll love it, but later, and that's something.
That's a great quote for tonight. I think I love it, but later.
Well, and I mean, I think we've all said that. I really truly believe that we've all said that at some point. And I also think that if a game's not for you, you don't have to hate on it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I've watched people play games on PlayStation, and I'm like, well, I get where you're coming from. And a lot of people don't do that. They're just like, oh, this is trash. Oh, this is just ridiculous. It looks horrible. And it's like, dude, like, did you play the game? Did you actually play it? Because if you didn't play the game, I'm kind of that person that'd be like, bro, like, look, like this person seems to really enjoy it. Hearing their voice, how they're, having this like just super enjoyment in that game. And I could just say, you know what? I don't know. I didn't play it. And I don't think a lot of people can do that. And I think everybody on this panel can do that. Might not be at every single moment, but we all can. You know what I'm saying? And I think, if you look at a year, I used to get into a game from Blockbuster a year later, and guess what? That dev already made the money. Well, they make the same amount of money, probably equivalent, if they drop it into Game Pass day and date. You know what I mean? Like, come on. It's in Game Pass. People aren't going to buy, and they still buy it. There still comes some kind of like skin or something like in a lot of these games. And people still, they'll pay the extra money. They'll have the extra 2 days. People are like, why don't you hate that? Well, you actually paid for it. I'm just going to wait for it.
Yeah, you have the choice, right?
Yeah, you have the option at the least. You know what I mean? And that's something like you could say what you want. Like sometimes I feel like certain games, PlayStation's like, yes, you have the option. Sometimes they're like, nah, no. This is our first party.
I will tell you what to do.
Well, and I feel like, dude, if they started dropping some of these, like even like 3 months, I mean, PlayStation Plus Now, freaking Premium, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Plus Now, like, here, there, everywhere.
People would invest in it, but a lot of times it's all about remasters. And there's a point in time as a PlayStation gamer, if I were playing PlayStation 4 or 5, I would have looked at it and said, enough's enough, bro. Like, why am I paying a whole other game's worth for stuff that happened 3-4 years ago? This is not like me talking about let's get the Phoenix collection, because that's almost 10 years ago for Gears 3. So I that's a long time. That's a lot of different consoles. So you got to look at that and say, like, we're asking for what you have, but we're asking it for a different reason. And, for you to sit here and judge a game because it lost sales a year after, you better go look at your own cookie jar before you start coming at ours. That is it.
I heard cookies. But yeah, you're like, dude, I think the whole year thing, like, and they're not even saying from launch. It's like whenever it goes into Game Pass. So like, it's just weird that they don't talk about the boost in sales from. I mean, there are multiple articles where there were interviews from multiple developers that talked about, like, yeah, no, they made money off of that, and yeah, no, the deal was good and everything like that. So you have multiple articles from people actually putting their work into the service and saying it's a good thing. I'm gonna roll with them on that one. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of their livelihood, But again, it's just another thing, something to throw out there. Boo, hiss, Xbox. It's kind of what it is. But it's funny, within all that, you just see nothing but Game Pass growing. You see first party starting to do what it does, when it comes to Xbox. And it's looking like it's going to be a good year. And speaking of good year, this is a miracle, guys. We're going to be done on time. Did you believe that? Can you believe that, panel? We're actually going to be done on time.
I'm about to go to sleep, but yeah, we're good.
All right, but real quick, I want to give a shout out to the chat. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. It is always a blast to get together every Thursday and to talk games with you guys. If you haven't done it yet, definitely hit that thumbs up button. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. But like a 40-year-old with a comb over, it is time to get those plugs in. And you know what? I'm gonna start. He's probably a little winded right now, but I'm gonna start with Crispy again. I started with him on the intros. We're gonna go with him on the outros. Crispy, as always, it's a blast, man. What do you got going on for the week, brother? What do you got to let us know about, man?
Oh man, it's been a great show, and it's incredible, the week I've had, and I thought I was gonna end it tonight, but tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. we got Breakfast with Boom, and we got Retro Renegade 7 p.m. Tuesday nights. We got Primetime Gaming Wednesday 7 p.m. And of course, you can find me back here on the next podcast 8 p.m. Prime time Thursday. We'll see you then.
Oh yeah, nice, brother. And we got. Let's get to the otter here. Let's get to the West Coast guy, bro. Dude, I feel like we're being spoiled here, man. It's now a few weeks in a row. Are you gonna try to make me miss you again when you're like, yo, man, I gotta back out for a while? Is that what's going on right now? What's going on with Dark here, man?
No, I'm not gonna try to make him miss me again. I'm gonna try to make it possible, man. It's just way the business is. It's crazy. But yeah, man, you guys can find me on Twitter, Darkonimus. You can also find me on Xbox and PlayStation at the same name, and you guys can also find me on the GRG podcast every Friday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and whatever Central Time K-Mega's in.
Wow!
I've got news for you. You are mine now.
You are mine now. Yo, Dark, be careful what you wish for, brother.
I know, man. I know. But there was also one more thing I wanted to say just before we go. Xbox and Game Pass actually makes more money now than they did when they were renting games from like Blockbuster and stuff like that, because all those rentals were going to Blockbuster and whatever company you were renting those games from. So they're making more money now than they were back then.
Nice, man. And even regular games, man, if you're buying physical still, usually you get a few months into it. What are you gonna get? Are you gonna get the pre-owned one or the brand new one?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The pre-owned that you could bring back if you don't like it, or you're gonna get the brand new one, which you'd be stuck with if you didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Yep.
So, but yeah, nah, it's always fun, and we're going to K Mega next, and K Mega, like, to get you in here for your outro, I just want to point out the fact that I think Dark Optimus showed more energy than I don't know anybody else when he was talking about GRG and being a panel member, man. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean,
he threw that energy out there, man. He's like, yeah.
I mean, we had
he's throwing up the signs, all that good shit, man.
Last couple of weeks, we've had some very spirited conversations. Last week was
fun.
Great.
It's been fun, man.
Yeah, last week's conversation was pretty damn intense. I am going to make a video talking about that because Ham Solo kind of just threw some shit out of the left side of his molar or something. I don't know where that came from, but and then Dark agreed.
Never throw shit from your molar, okay, guys?
It was horrible. It was a great conversation. Great conversations that we have, and so. But yeah, check out the GRG podcast. Definitely appreciate people coming and checking it out. Definitely appreciate the people coming through, being a part of the panel. I believe an old member is going to come back. I don't know if he's just coming just for a week or whatever, or just whatever. I have no idea. But he hit me up almost about 3 weeks ago and kept saying, "Look, man, is it cool for coming?" I was like, "Yeah, man. I mean, it doesn't matter." So Triple Cup Chuck, I think, will be on the show tomorrow night. So,
yo, he's been more active on Twitter and stuff lately.
He has, and I think I seen a picture of him doing going to see Quantumania. So me and the wife are going to see that.
Yeah, I want to see that. So. I want to see that.
Yeah.
King,
check it out.
King looks like a monster.
He does. Do not care about.
I'll wait until it goes on Disney Plus.
Oh my God! I do not care about tomatoes or apple pies, whatever the hell that shit is. I don't care about.
No, I'll just wait. I'm like that though.
The Rotten Tomatoes score and all that stuff. I do not care. I think.
Oh no, I don't care about that. I just.
Well, I think the one big problem, and that was what I was thinking, is when they first announced Eternals. I'm like, now they're finna get into a space where the regular, more known heroes aren't going to be in this next phase. Are people going to, accept them like they accepted Cap and Iron Man?
They're going a little deeper, bro. They're going a little deeper.
They're going way deeper. So, and I think that's part of the problem. I know some of the writing and some of the things has been hit and miss on some of these movies, but some
Mega, you know when it's gonna blow up. You know when it's gonna blow up. Three things, man. All right, when Galactus gets into the picture, because we already know he's a part of this whole thing, right? Yeah. When Galactus gets in here and we see the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, and people are gonna go insane, yo.
I think the movie that's gonna get everything really kicked off is going to be Captain America 4. I think
it's gonna be Deadpool 3, bro.
No. It's gonna be Captain America 4, and then because Deadpool comes out, I think a year or two after that, because Blade is gonna come out before that movie. So yeah, that movie's gonna be big as well. But
it's gonna be good, man.
Yeah. Because I like the fact that they're making them change.
We went from going to outros to talking about movies, guys. We got it. Yeah, I thought I was, and the reason why I thought about that, I was like, did Pred do an outro? And I was like, oh no, he didn't. I was like, he's just waiting.
Well, I got something to say. I got something to say to Pred too as well. So I went in there while Crispy was talking, because I knew it was going to be long. No, I'm just fucking with Crispy, but I did go in there to go get me something to drink. And I told my wife, I said, Pred told me to hit him up when we go to Dallas tomorrow. And so I said,
she does well.
Anyway, but no, listen to this. This is what's funny, because I tell her all the stuff that me and you talk about, right, like on the show. And so I said yeah. So I said, she's like, oh, so you gonna be cool of meeting some of these people you've never met before? I said, no, pretty cool. I said, I'm saying, he act too crazy. He ain't got a gun on him, so we'll be in the store, so I'll bust his ass real quick. You know what I'm saying? So I'll try to, at least. I'll try, before he give me with a throat shot. But But I said he's cool and stuff. But I said he's not even married no more. And so she says, "Oh, really?" And so she I said, "All right." That's what I
He's like, "Fred, we ain't gonna be getting together."
I need to put that to the test. I need to see if my game is still tight. So I'm gonna hit him up like, bro, we here. So I'm gonna see what's happening. Like, shit, if I lost my wife, man, that's a damn shame. I got to get back on the grind. But anyway,
I'd get it right back.
Damn, I'll be like, what?
Bring around some other girls just so you can.
You know what? At this point, I'm going to go get that 4080. So I'm just like, fuck it. Okay, cool. I'll holler at you later. But no. So anyway, but no, come check out the GRG podcast tomorrow night. Let's do that. Yeah, it might be a lazy show because I don't know if I'll have enough time to do all the setup and stuff like I deal with gameplay and everything. But yeah, your damn show we'll have the topics. We'll be right. So come and check us out. And Fight Night will return. I thought Fight Night was going to come after the Super Bowl, but then I just said there ain't no reason. And I was kind of pissed off how the game ended anyway, even though I thought it was a really good game until that last part. But so Fight Night will be back Sunday. I just picked up. I just bought Hogwarts.
Oh man! Yo, you know why he did that, guys? Hold on. You know why I did that? He saw my gameplay on the show tonight, and he was like, "Oh, that's wand combat." He's like, "Yo, that's wand combat. Yo, we're good with that. I could do that." He's like, "Yo, guys, check it out. Yo, next podcast changing lives right now, man."
And I picked up Returnal too.
Changing lives.
Is it because I'm Latino? Is that why? Is that why, K-Mega? Is that why? Because I'm Latino? Is that why? Is that why you didn't want to buy the game?
Oh, absolutely. Why would I trust a Latino? No, let me stop that. Somebody's gonna record that, and then they're gonna.
I know, right?
You know, Dark. I do have to say.
Oh, shit.
From the outside looking in, you seem like a man who claims to be Latino a little too much, and you are now suspect. I'm just saying, you are now.
You can't trust somebody with fat ankles.
No. Yo, let's get Pred's outro. Yo, Pred, what do you gotta tell the people, man?
I'll see y'all next week. K-Mega's outro was long as fuck, so
for real, man. Yo, he started
next week, man. Yeah. Predator H2OS on Xbox and PlayStation and whatever, and tomorrow, I guess next week, I'll be with a new woman.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yo, bring her on the show, bro. Bring her on the show.
Yeah. Also, never trust a 5'2" leprechaun. Ever.
Yo, and on that note, guys, I hope you have a great night. We will see you next week for the next podcast. Have a great night, everybody.
Fucking get lit, and I do trust Latinos. I just don't trust Dark. That's all. Anyway.
Pure gasoline. I see the news, see what you read. Change gotta come, put that on me and watch me educate. Yeah, we been could've started, but it's never late. Do it for my kids, yeah, let's set it straight. Do it for your kids, gotta set it straight. It's time to regulate. We need change now. We need solar, we need EV in the game now. Make it changes so the earth we know can stay around. Make it change cause we had no time for playing around. Let's quit the playing around.